This video is going to give you a quick introduction to the JupyterHub that we'll be using during the FishPace Hack Week. JupyterHub allows you to spin up a compute environment that's fully provisioned for you. So first thing, you'll go to Workshop on NIMS OpenScape 2i2c.cloud, and then when you go there, you'll see this sign-in page. Pick a username that you'll use during the hack week, and then use the password that we supply for you. Enter those, and then you'll sign in. Then you get to this page, and here is where you choose your environment. As you have a few different ones, we're just going to use the default. You don't need to change that. And then here, the resource allocation. We can just use the default resource allocation. This tells us the size of the machine. For some of the tutorials, you will need to get a larger one. So we go ahead and click that. And it may take a few minutes to start up. That was pretty fast that time. All right, so now we're inside our virtual machine. If we click this blue button up here, we see our options here. We're going to be working either in Python or in R, and we've got RStudio here. Go ahead and see what happens if we do that. So this is going to spin up an instance of RStudio for us. Here we go. We've got lots of packages here. It's all fully provisioned for spatial analysis. Let's go back over to this tab. All right, so if we're here, this is interface is JupyterLab, and I'm going to give you a little tour here. So let's go and view and not show hidden files, so it's a little cleaner. All right, so this is my user directory that I'm in. This is my own directory. Nobody else can see this. And right now there's not really anything there. This is just the one that you'll start off in. You can create folders, my folder. There we go. Click there. You're inside that now. You can create new files. Markdown file. So here's a markdown file. And then we can save that. Oops. Save markdown file. Okay. There we go. All right. Let's go back to the launcher here. We can open up a Jupyter Notebook by clicking that. And then we can run Python code here. Okay. Within a Jupyter notebook, you add a code into these cells here, and then you can click that to run the cell. Typically, though, people will hold down the Shift key and hit return. That's the shortcut. You can add new cells by doing that. And then you can click the type of cell over here, Markdown or Raw. Typically, we're using either code or Markdown. So we can add Markdown here, and we can do something. Oops, sorry. Markdown here and say, down, and then I'm going to hit Shift Return, and that will make it into Markdown. All right, okay. So another thing that you'll want to use in here, or we'll be using during the hack week, is this tab here. This is so that we can interact with GitHub repositories. So we can clone a repository here, put the URL here. Let's see if I can HTTPS. Let's just see what that is. Okay, go ahead and clone that. And this is going to get all the files. It's working. This is kind of a big repository that I'm pulling in. All right. So now this pulled in a repository from GitHub, and I have all the files there, and I can, interact with those. Okay. Oops. So I can go here and, open up, a notebook there. Okay. We'll cover more about interacting with Git repositories once we start the Hack Week. Okay, so let's see. Let's go back over to the RStudio server here. So for those of you who will be working in R, you have at home, you have your same home directory that you saw over here. So I'm here, I click here, and then I'm going to click here to see my home directory. You see I've got my folder R, shared that, and I see the same thing here. So whether or not you're working in R or Python, you're going to have access to the same home directory. Let's see here. If you need to install packages, just install them as normal. It will go into your personal library, so they'll be there again when you come back. You can watch the data or the memory usage up here. I'm not in a GitHub repository at the moment. Where did I do it? Oh, here we are. Okay. This is a GitHub repository here. I can create projects. Everything that you're used to doing in RStudio, you'll be able to do here. So here, choose, create. So now I'm within this repository, and because it is a Git repository, I now have the Git tab, and I can interact with Git in RStudio using the Git tab as you normally would. Okay, last thing I want to show you is how to shut down your machine after you're done. So it'll shut down automatically after an hour or so, but it's always a good idea to just shut it down. That saves us a little money because we're not using compute resources more than we need to. So go here, you click that. So that was File, Hub Control Panel right there. That takes you here, and then you say Start My Server. Stop my server, sorry. So a common reason actually why we would shut down the hub also is if we're doing a computation and we run out of memory. And in that case, we're going to want to get more memory, a bigger machine. So we can shut down that server, hit start, and then we can go here and let's say, I need to get a little bit bigger because what I was doing was taking too long. Was not taking too long. It was using up the memory. And now I'll show you, started back up. If we look at the memory down here, it used to say about 2 gigabytes, and now it's saying 7.5. So we have more RAM to work with. All right, that's the end of this little introduction. And During the Hack Week, you can post questions, get help in the Help Desk Slack channel.